guys, and welcome to my video on One Piece episode 766. You'll know from the title and because you can probably remember what you just watched rather than whatever. Actually I enjoyed this episode even though I make it seem like I didn't follow along at all, but I enjoyed this episode a lot. And this episode was like, at a base level it was really good, but it was like Luffy just made this episode that much greater because, oh my god, that boy, I just want to give him a hug. Every time he has screen time, which was literally 90% of this episode, I just started smiling and squealing and just, I really like Luffy a lot, and this episode had just everything for me. I mean, his interactions with Pecos, his interaction with Nekomamushi, his interactions with literally anyone, and little thing with Zoro, and But let's start like walking through this episode chronologically because I think I can do that pretty well. Sorta. So let's start with the Peckham stuff, which is actually really simple because it was just a lot of, oh my god, what? Because we have Peckham's explaining that Sanji can't really get out of this wedding because if he does, someone he loves will be killed, and I find it really interesting that they mentioned the Kamabaka Kingdom because, oh, it was Sanji's 2 years in hell. Well, obviously not. He obviously cares for the people he was around for 2 years plus, and I'm sure he and Iwatch had a lot of fun. And it could also be someone from Bertie, and it could be a Straw Hat crew member, could be literally anyone that Sanji cares about, which is why he doesn't really have a choice but to go along. And even now, even if he were to like try to sabotage the wedding, he is in the face of Big Mom, her family, and the Beansmokes, who, you know, the notorious Beansmoke family, who are a family of killers. Yay! Lovely to know that, and I like that Nami's just like, Sanji's from a family of killers? What even? And then just have Luffy being, I don't give a crap. I just want Sanji, and that's it. And I really like when you have Luffy being, well, I don't really care if they get married as long as we're not working for Big Mom, so if they get married, you have to work for us. You just have Pegasus like, I thought that scene was a little drawn out with Pegasus just being like, what? And then just falling off the bed and stuff like that because it was a little weird, but it was funny. I mean, because he was just like, what are you on about? She's a young and Luffy's just like, yeah, I don't really care, but Sanji's my crewmate and I'm not gonna work for anyone, so no matter what happens, that's just how it is. I just really like that because that's just Luffy's personality in a nutshell. Like, he wants it his way, he wants his friends close to him, and he wants to work for nobody. So that's really nice. We also then have, like, Luffy's solution to the problem is just that he alone should go after Sanji because at this point he agrees with the notion that, well, if they were all just to go after Sanji, they would probably start a war, and he is aware of the fact that they have this thing with Kaido, which is a pressing issue, and they can't really start a war with Tsuyonkko. Like, that much he is aware of, so kudos to you, Luffy, for not just doing stuff without thinking. I also found it really interesting that when Peckham said that someone Sanji cared about would die if he should go against the wedding, we had an intense focus on Pedro, and I don't know if that's supposed to foreshadow something or like be a hint to, oh my god, Pedro has been in this situation before or something, because he looks quite suspicious, but it could also just be for like dramatic effect. I have no fucking clue because was one thing I found really funny that when the episode began, you have that like the aftermath of Peckham saying the Beansmokes are a family of assassins, and you have everyone just being, oh my god, and you have Pedro just stood on top of a bed, so he's like half cut off from the scene because he's standing from like a high point. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, either way, I thought that scene was really well executed, despite, I think it was a little drawn out, but it felt very natural, and you have all those like small funny shenanigans with Luffy being like, oh my god, you have cute eyes, when Peckham's trying to intimidate him, and Carrot just commenting saying, oh my god, it would be fun to go after Sanji and stuff like that, and just wound up being mad at her. But that was really funny. When we have Luffy then going outside because he wants to find Nekomamushi or something. I don't even remember what he wants to do at this point, but he runs out and Zoro is there, and I remember being really mad at the subtitles for this one, because Luffy asks Zoro, did you listen? And the subtitles said just barely, but the Japanese word was Kikoida, which doesn't mean just barely. It's more like the notion of, yes, I listened, but just because I have no choice but to listen. Like as if he was just sat there and they were talking so loudly that he couldn't help but overhear. Like just barely does not convey the assholiness that Zoro was trying to convey, even though Luffy is right when he says, oh, so you just care about Sanji, you're actually worried, because that's actually what Zoro's doing here. And then I thought it was a really nice touch with Luffy, with Zoro saying, I'll kick you if you say I care about him, because that's of course what Sanji does and all that, because I think that's a real nice subtle way to show that Zoro does care. He just has this attitude of, I don't care, but everyone knows that he cares. So I really like that. Subtitles, get it right, please. You could just have said, I heard. Like, that's all you need to say, because then you could still infer what I just said. Either way, off from the subtitles, because after that we have then Nekomamushi coming in. And Luffy getting really excited because, oh my god, it's a really big monster cat. And he basically jumps them, even though Chopper has said that he shouldn't do anything. And we have another Straw Hats getting completely mushed by Nekomamushi, and sort of being really mad at him, just being like, I'll cut you down all 9 lives of you. I thought it was really funny. And then just Luffy bouncing up and down on Nekomamushi. I thought, again, Luffy was just really nice in that episode. Because he was like this combination of being really hyper and fun like he usually is, but also there was all those serious undertones of, okay, we need to get Sanji back, I'm just gonna do this by myself, and then we can take Kaido after that. Because we also have the scene with Law, which was like, it was important because, as I said in the last episode, they still have the issue with what's gonna happen with Kaido and what's Law's role gonna be in all this, because obviously he did not sign up for, oh my god, 2 Yonko wars. So Law comes in, he's with his crew gets really mad at him for not introducing them properly. I really find it nice, I haven't mentioned this before, but I find it nice that Law has a girl in his crew, because a lot of, I don't know, doesn't happen much. Like, there are 20 of them and he has one girl, like, that's 5% of his crew. Either way, he gets, like, kind of mad because what the hell, Sanji just left to go talk to Big Mom, like, I don't know what summary they gave him, but apparently they made it seem a lot less worse and a lot more like Sanji's fault when they told all that story. But he makes it clear to them that, like, we can't just not go after Kaido, because whether or not we make a move, he definitely will, and if we stay here for too long, the Minks will suffer because of that, and the Minks of course start crying because of it, and it was really funny when they said, are you guys really pirates? Because that's kind of like the question we all have for the Straw Hats, like, are you sure you're not heroes? Like, fucking, what the hell, and pirates, because the pirate things they do are small in comparison to all the good that they do. Accidentally. But yeah, so we still have the issue with Kaido, as of course Zoro pointed out in the last episode or whatever it was. But either way, it seems at this point like Luffy is definitely gonna go after Sanji, despite the fact that he said that he would come back, and he plans to do this alone despite the fact that people thinking it's a bad idea. But as Luffy said, they can't all go, because that would start a war, and everyone and their mother knows that starting a war with Big Mom at this point is a bad idea, like a bad idea. And I think after that we basically just have a banquet, and there's a few funny moments after this as well. Like, this entire episode was just packed with really funny moments to forget that we're in a really bad situation. Like, we have the stuff with all the documents jumping at Brook, Chopper being in love with Milky, I still think her name is. I don't think we've heard that in the anime, but I'm pretty sure her name is Milky. Yes, Zoro being mad and stuff like that when we have the banquet. And just before I get into the ending, I thought there was this really nice but like kind of sad moment where they all eat lasagna, and the only thing I could think of, because they were like, oh my god, this food is really good, I was just like, Sanji didn't make this food. I was just like, that's, like, they're having fun and eating together, but the food they're eating is not coming from Sanji, and I thought that was like low-key sad. Yeah. But moving on to the ending, because that's really important for what's gonna happen in this arc, obviously, if you hadn't guessed it already, because Brook, Robin, and Frankie decide to assume the roles of mature adults, which, I mean, can discuss whether or not they are mature adults, but they decide that, okay, we should stay on guard or stay on watch here at the back of the elephant, because that's where Kinemon and Kanjiro, they're gonna climb up from the elephant, because of course they actually wanted to do so as their like point of whatever, and they also expect Raizo to be here, and there's the issue with the Minks and the Samurai, so they really want to avoid that Kanjiro and Kinemon successfully make it onto the elephant and meet any of the Minks. So they decide to stay and watch, and then they fall asleep, and Kanjiro and Kinemon, they come up to the elephant, and all hell is basically about to break loose. Which, oh my god. I think that the ending with the little monkey, Bariete, I think its name is, I thought that moment was a little drawn out from the manga, if I remember correctly. And I think, like, with the knowledge I have from the manga, I feel like it didn't fit as well to draw that scene out so much, but I don't know. But I don't know. Now, judging from the promotional pictures we got by the end of the episode, I think that the next episode is gonna adapt an entire chapter. Kind of like, I think this episode also adapted an entire chapter, but I think for the next episode it's gonna be really important that they do that, because I remember that chapter like really well, like really well, and I think any manga readers do. Not to spoil anything, but the next one is gonna be really good, and it wouldn't make sense to cut that up in any way, shape or form, because it's like an entire story being told in that one chapter, and it's very important, and I think that it's gonna be really good. And the thing is about the next episode is that they will either do it really well or they will fuck it up completely, and if they fuck it up, I will get really mad, because I remember just how good the manga chapter was, and if it is really bad, I will tell you to go read chapter 816, because that's the chapter, which also means that if you want to catch up to where the anime is, or yeah, it's up to 815 at this point, but yeah, I really hope that they do well with the next episode, because that has like 2 or 3 really good moments, and then overall the episode is just like right in the feels, and I will be really mad if I don't have any emotions watching the next episode. But yeah, I am really looking forward to it, because the last couple of episodes have been really good. Like in this arc in general, I have only complained about 2 episodes in like total, so that's like good sign, really good sign. And I think it's been like 4 or 5 weeks since I complained last, so that's really nice. I hope they do a really good job with the next one. But yeah, I think overall I got through everything here, so I'm just gonna end off this video here. If you like anything that I have to say, you can leave a thumbs up in the video. Leave in the comments below your thought of this episode, and if you're an anime only, what do you think is gonna happen next? And you can subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, bye!